Hey everybody, it's Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. This is compilation number 6.
This is specifically for all you beautiful, amazing, wonderful human beings who still support Nicholas Godejohn and want to support Nicholas Godejohn. It is not too late to write letters of clemency. This is the address and this is the extended deadline, February 1st, 2025. I highly suggest that you go over to NPG Cornerstone Nation on YouTube, which is Nicholas Godejohn's only official spokesperson and social media pages, and check out the third video down. Do you want to help Nick? This video right here explains to you what they are asking when you write letters of clemency. I highly suggest you go check it out and watch it. I myself, my family, my elderly mother, and my children have all wrote letters. But it is critical that if you do not know how to formulate the letter, watch this video because it'll tell you exactly step-by-step instructions on what they are asking for. Also, if you have not heard of a creator called Toddy One Skip, I highly suggest you head over to her TikTok and her YouTube and give her a follow. Toddy has been nice enough to share with the world her legally private correspondence with Nicholas Godejohn, and this is critical because for anybody that was saying anything about NPGCN and not verifying who they are or the spot fund, this is where this comes in.
If you want to support NPG Cornerstone, I can tell you firsthand, I reached out to Nick through JPay and Securus, and he wrote me back and told me this. So yes, so I feel good and confident in telling this community, if you want to support Nick, he says do so through this. He's not asking for anything.
Now, I can completely sympathize and understand with why certain creators and people did not want to share or tell people to go and follow this page because it was not officially confirmed. But it wasn't that NPGCN wasn't confirmed. It was that the spot fund was not verified, that money is actually going to Nicholas Godejohn. So I completely understand why people were not sharing it on larger platforms and saying, hey, look, go donate to this. Because ultimately, when you co-sign your name to that, you're responsible for that. So the fact that Toddy got this legally private correspondence between her and Nicholas and was nice enough to actually share that, and he confirms that the spot fund is real, that's awesome that people now can put that to bed and put that to rest, that everybody should have listened to him the first time that he said that's his official spokesperson back in January 13th of 2024, but this has also happened a couple times since then where he has confirmed it. The only problem is he does not actually mention the spot fund, and so I can understand why people were having issues with there, but that's why I suggested a fair middle ground suggestion of donating directly to his commissary. And I'm not over here talking shit. I literally donate to his commissary. So I can actively participate in supporting him and his real life. His need for food, clothing, items, necessities. He can purchase those. And he is always gracious and kind, and he always replies back anytime I have donated to him. But I have also purchased 20 stamps for $5 and even given them to him so he can email people. So it essentially is one send, one email to or from is one stamp. So that is 10 emails that he can have to his father, his brother, his friends, his loved ones, whoever it may be. So that way he can communicate with his family and friends.
how do you kill your own mother? I mean, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be some abuse there. You don't just, I'm gonna kill my mother because I want to be with a boyfriend.
Really hard to say. I did make her have an orgasm once.
Okay.
And then after that, she wanted to blow me a little bit, and then after that, I think we stopped because we realized there was a lot of packing and stuff to do.
Okay. So you guys get everything packed, she wipes down the fingerprints, and then what do you guys do?
I am so not threatened by you. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You're just mad because I have a Chad.
This is style. Let's just give him a minute.
I just need a minute, okay?
I kept asking questions. I'm not understanding what the deal is here. So.
Double standard my ass. And she's still better looking than you or Ken. I bet she nicer on the inside too. I said what I fucking said, bitch. Meanwhile, yeah, the happy couple.
So, yesterday when I came across this video, for the last, I want to say, couple weeks, Ryan has increasingly kind of gotten on my nerves. I mean, he was my husband. I can say that, okay? And we are still technically married. So, I think it's completely normal for people to go back and forth with each other in little tit-for-tat ways. Okay, we are not, I'm not going to say we're on bad terms, but we're not on good terms. We're just on terms. So,
You're married.
when I seen the video, I was not jealous. I am happy for him. If
The
he wants
fuck
to go
you're not.
and dance with a million girls. If he wants to go to a club, cool, I'm happy. I don't care. Like, I want him to find someone and I want him to be happy. But what I am disappointed in is society. So it was not even Ryan's video that kind of like made me frustrated. It was
How about
society's
your
view of
own
the situation.
actions? How about
I
your
understand
own
that sexism
actions?
and favoritism towards men has been a thing for as like.
No, blame everybody
Well,
else instead of the fact that you should have shut the fuck up.
So I just don't see how when a man does something, then it's praised. But when a woman does something, she gets slandered and like slammed for it. So granted, questions was like, how do you feel now that you're getting all this attention? But you're a murderer. Oh my God. Like, she just flat out said it. It was a lady from the UK, and I'm kind of like, okay. And everybody in the room just like jumped up and was like ready to like, am I okay? Yeah. They were freaking out for me, and I'm like, no, guys, I got this. Like, it's something that I'm gonna have to address. Because it's always in my comments. Like, why are we glorifying a murderer and this and that and the other? And, I don't want to have to remind people every single time that I'm not the one that committed the act of the kill. So, I'm a part of it. Right. But in the state of Missouri, there's no such thing as accessory to murder. So technically, they couldn't charge me with accessory because that charge doesn't exist. So, I mean, had I been in another state, I would have been charged with accessory to commit murder. Oh, that makes sense. So, okay. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Of all the interviews that Gypsy Rose Blanchard has done, this one, I would say, infuriated me the most. And I'm sure it did a lot of other people too. But we're just going to talk about that again because I did this last year. I'm going to do it again. Missouri. First-degree premeditated murder is a person who commits the offense of murder in the first degree if they knowingly cause the death of another person after deliberation upon the matter. Now it's broken up into two parts. Under the age of 18 and above the age of 18. And Gypsy Rose Blanchard was only a month away from her 24th birthday. So what I would like to know is, hey, Gypsy, how does all that attention feel now? How does that infamy feel now? Accessory. There's two different types of accessory to commit murder, and that's usually before and after. In most jurisdictions, accessory to murder is a felony that can result in years in prison. Being an accessory is considered a separate offense from the crime itself. To be convicted of accessory to murder, the government must prove that the defendant intentionally and knowingly assisted the murderer. The defendant's actions must be deliberate, not accidental or coerced. And that is different for different states and what type of law they may have as far as that. But accessory before the fact is when somebody helps someone else before they commit a murder. For example, they could be buying the gun, knowing that that person was going to use it on somebody else, and they did not stop it. They didn't warn anybody. They didn't call law enforcement. Accessory after the fact is when someone helps someone after they commit murder. An example could be driving a getaway car after the homicide. But there's also a different type of accessory charge that some states have, and that is if you're with somebody and you don't intentionally know that they plan on harming somebody, and they do, and you neglect to not only intervene but try to stop that person, but you also don't try to call 911 or try to elicit some kind of help for that person that they are harming to stop the crime from happening. If you sit there, and even if you didn't intentionally know that they were going to do it, and you sit there and you watch them do it anyway, you could have, by duty and obligation, try to prevent it, but you did not. So you could be charged with accessory in that kind of scenario too. But it all depends on the state and what laws they have and their legal standard for that. But if you look into what that means, the defendant had knowledge of the crime either beforehand or afterward, and the defendant intentionally acted to aid the perpetrator, also called the principal offender. In the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the principal offender under Missouri statute for first-degree premeditated homicide. She was over the age of 18 and she knowingly caused the death of another person. However, she also attempted murder twice before. On June 14th of 2011, and supposedly months prior to that, she attempted to take her mother's life 2 other times. And one of those is documented. When you solicit somebody else to commit the act for you, or hire somebody else to commit the act for you, you are still guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. And in Missouri, they have the death penalty for special heinous circumstantial crime. And jabbing somebody 17 times and partially decapping them, that is a heinous special circumstance that should have awarded her the death penalty. And in fact, she probably was facing the death penalty at first. The abuse excuse is what saved her life. But what I would really want to know is, you thought that you shouldn't have got as many years as you did? What did you believe under God and under the laws of man that you deserved? What do you think you deserve? That's what I want to know, because 10 years ain't nothing but a slap on the fucking wrist. But there is such thing as accessory, or AKA aiding and abetting a criminal in the state of Missouri. But that is not what Gypsy Rose Blanchard did. What she did was first-degree premeditated murder with the special circumstance of a heinous crime that should have landed her the death penalty. Gypsy Rose is the sole reason why Nicholas Godejohn was there, why he did what he did. Had she not been the person who solicited him and plotted this for years and manipulated him and coerced him, if anybody in this scenario
the girl that
was aiding and abetting,
murdered her mother,
and an accessory, it would be Nick himself to Gypsy, because she is the sole perpetrator of the crime. She's the person
look at you like this is Gypsy Rose. She's famous.
Manipulated it.
I don't
killing
know
her mother.
She
Shouldn't be
is
famous
the
for
most
something like
guilty
that.
party
Exactly.
out of the two of them. But that also completely throws out the abuse excuse, because it's one thing for you to be defending yourself from an imminent and immediate threat on your body, your person, and your safety, and take another person's life because of abuse. It's a totally different thing when you bring a third party into it and manipulate them for years after you failed to attempt on that same person's life twice before and couldn't get the job done, and you manipulate a third party to do it for you. That completely throws the abuse narrative out, because you now brought a third party into it. You now ruined the life of a third party as well. And it can also be said that that person possibly really did love you so much that he sacrificed what he felt and thought and was manipulated to believe was the only way to save you, to get you freedom, to save your life from this horrendous abuse, that you couldn't pick up a phone, that you couldn't call your dad, that you couldn't call 911, you couldn't tell a neighbor. No, I mean, but you can have sex in the backyard in front of the neighbor's house, but you couldn't let them know that you're supposedly being abused. None of it makes sense because it's all bullshit. It's just a criminal defense strategy. And it worked because it got her a sweetheart plea deal that first-degree murderers don't usually get, especially in the state of Missouri. And she took it for second degree. But it's backwards because they incentivize the more guilty party to lie and to run with that, instead of taking the person who was honest from the very beginning and incentivizing them for their honesty and their cooperation, like they normally do in soliciting or hiring type of scenarios when it comes to homicide, and giving that person the plea deal to get out in 10 years. Despite who committed that act, it has nothing to do with that. So if anybody was acting as an accessory or aiding and abetting to the principal offender, it was Nicholas Godejohn. Because he was helping her. And not only that, but he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, knock on wood, hopefully not, because he loved somebody that much, that he sacrificed himself, his life, his future, his freedom for her. He doesn't get a fresh start. He doesn't get renewed freedom. He doesn't get to have a fair day in court. He doesn't have somebody advocating for him in that type of way, in that platform with millions of viewers and watchers, or somebody that's actually going to be there by his side while he serves that time. No, and he doesn't have the support and the resources to utilize the same way that Gypsy Rose Blanchard does. And it's highly unfair. It's not justice, and it's absolutely heinous and wrong. But this is the one thing that infuriates me the most, because she, as long as I'm alive, is never going to live that down. I will be here every single day to remind you all that not only is she a fraud, she's a horrible human being, she is a liar, and all of that BS story that she tells you is not true. She walked in that house for 9 years and didn't use that wheelchair except for when her and her mom were running a scam for other people outside of their own home. And she used Nicholas Godejohn.
It is
Gypsy
crazy.
Rose went live with me.
Until now.
Did she battle you?
No, we just had a good conversation. People kept being like, she wants to collab, and I'm like, Jeffree Star Cosmetics is not collabing with a murderer. We're not doing it this year.
I need like a list of iconic things you say on today's episode. And that's one. I want her on canceled regardless so bad.
So,
but why?
So here's my issue. I'm very sarcastic, and I battle, and I'm live all the time. I say really crazy funny jokes. I should have been a comedian, right? So we go live together. We have a good time. I'm not gonna collab with her. She's like, I don't know if she's hinting at it, but like, and she's also learning TikTok. And imagine you're in prison for so long, and the phone is so new.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
It's like, it must be such a trip.
Imagine what that even feels like.
Yes. Yeah. So my issue is that she thought I was all great, and then a couple weeks later, someone sends her a clip of a joke I made. Unfollow. She can't handle the humor.
Boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking to her on FaceTime, and I was like, "Slay, mother," and I was like, "Wait."
Oh, Rose, that's so pretty.
Okay, someone needs to send her like a lion, a uni. Taylor! Taylor just sent Gypsy the iconic diamond gun. There it is. Turn her up. Yes, Ollie. There it is.
Thank you. Aww. I looks good with this hat.
Oh my God. Eugenia! She just sent you one of the biggest gifts on the app. Oh my God, Eugenia.
So much.
That was so sweet. There we go. We have to show Gypsy what some big gifts are.
Oh, thank you. I'm a Leo, so I love lions.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. That's amazing. I'm a Scorpio, but I love Leos.
Oh, God, I heard all about you Scorpios.
Oh,
know you heard about me. I know you heard about me.
I have a reputation.
We really do.
We really do. We
Wait,
really
let me send her a good one.
11,
so I can send you
God's
gifts while we're live
favorite,
too. Oh, this is one of my favorites. The iconic. The
Angel
yacht.
numbers,
Let's
baby.
go.
Blessed, baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
All aboard.
That was so cool. Thank you.
Isn't this app is really fun.
I know. I'm gonna press the gift button. Okay, so I'm gonna send you a gift. How do I do that? Okay. I just pick one.
So you will have to you'll have to have some form of payment connected to the app.
Okay.
So whether it's a debit card or PayPal. So all these gifts are money that are sent to you or me, and you can cash out later. Once a week, you can cash out with your PayPal. And then to send gifts, it's called recharging. You guys, isn't this so cool to teach someone new? Because I knew nothing about this 10 months ago either.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, so Gypsy, some of the gifts are really expensive. So that lion someone just sent you is like $400.
What?
Yes, Eugenia sent you a lion.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Good.
Yeah, so isn't that wild?
That is so wild. The only one that's highlighted in my area is the rose, and I know that's cheap. I'm so sorry it's cheap, but it's the only one that's highlighted.
It is a rose is a penny. It is a penny. No, it's true though. It is the lowest gift, y'all. We all know a rose is cheap. Don't even try to play her like that. And then here, let me send you a little. This is like a money gun. That's like $50.
Okay.
Not $50, $5. Not 50. It's like $5.
Yeah, make it right.
Isn't it fun? And there's so many. Oh, you got the diva hat. Let's go, Guy Combs.
The only person making
cool?
it rain is
That is
Brian
so
on that girl's
awesome.
booty. Throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a
Thank you.
circle.
That's so sweet. Always.
So later, if you have anything connected, you can recharge. It's like you have to do it later, or have your sister teach you.
Yeah, my sister is like, that's cool.
Oh, Frankie!
These are freaking cool.
That is awesome. I know this app has really wild
cool,
gifts. The
man.
animations are just.
Everybody wants it, man. Everybody needs to live, man.
Thank you so much.
It's so fun learning because there's a lot to it, and it took me a minute to get the hang of it.
Yeah. And they're just so fun to watch, too.
They are.
Oh, yeah. It's so fun to watch that money gift come in.
I get enamored with it.
I know.
Oh, Jeffrey, we know you're
If you guys are new to TikTok or watching Gypsy, you guys see how it says 1.1 above or below my name? Those are how many people have tapped, or how many times our screen's been tapped. So when people double tap the screen, you guys, it does share out the live. TikTok pushes it to the top. And I have the most likes or taps on anyone's live ever. We broke all the records for that. That was only like 2 weeks ago, too, which is wild. Thank you. Yes, y'all, the iconic Gypsy Rose is in the building. Everyone send her a gift. Say hi. Yes. Look at all the diva hats.
Wait, Jeffrey, I got a surprise for you.
Oh, yeah. Gotta bring Laura.
I'll bring our mom.
Oh my gosh! Who is that sweet baby?
Not just sweet baby.
Grace.
Aurora! That is such a pretty name. Gypsy, I have 7 Pomeranians. I don't know if you saw that already. 7.
Yeah, I know that you have a couple. I was like, oh my goodness. I can barely handle one.
Yes.
She's old. She's about 8 or 9.
Yeah, my oldest is 9. Yes, Karen, thank you. Everyone sending Gypsy gifts, thank you. Tell your sister you're the gift queen now. Look how many gifts she's got, over 100K.
I gotta to get on here.
My friend really does make a living. She battles and goes live every day on here. I mean, 7 days a week. People, like, you know, not everyone can do that.
Yeah, like she needs it. When her dad literally is a financial advisor in
makes six
fucking
figures every
Manhattan,
month
one of the
on here.
biggest.
It's wild.
I'll go live and I'll be like, get ready with me. And then I get like 200 viewers and I get like maybe 5 roses. And I'm like, you know what? I just like having conversations with people. And I'm just like, I like to feel like I'm on FaceTime with people.
Mia, how is that going now?
Right? I feel like we're on FaceTime right now. I love that.
How is that now, Mia?
That's so
How
cool.
is that now?
Oh, they have a Pomeranian.
I'm lucky if I get by.
What are the odds? Poms are my favorite. I do have 7, which is a lot, but we got a big old ranch in the middle of nowhere. I live in Wyoming now.
Okay. I think that state is talked about enough, honestly.
It's not. It's the 9th biggest as far as land, but it's the least populated. Isn't that wild?
That could be because
So, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, peace and quiet. I like to work and travel and have a wild life and then come back and be grounded and just be away from everyone.
I do.
That's because the taxes.
That's
because the no taxes. That's why people like to go to Wyoming.
It's peaceful. Everybody is pretty much almost related. Like everybody's cousins with someone. This is actually where, not cut off, but a little town not far from here, Golden Meadow, is
Gypsy,
where
you're boring.
I
You don't want to hear your life history.
Gypsy, we love you. Don't kill the next one. All right. Hi there. Yeah. All right, Gypsy. We'll see you on the next documentary.
Being, Gypsy Blanchard, the girl that murdered her mother.
I don't want people to look at you like, this is Gypsy Rose. She's famous for killing her mother. You shouldn't be famous for something like that.
Exactly.
Yep. Since she had warned me that she's tried it twice before, and she's only mentioned one of those times in the media. The other, apparently she almost got close to killing her mother, but however, she couldn't do it. She was attempting to do it mainly for someone that she had an infatuation with, and, well, she found out later that it was just infatuation, but yet the person keeps using her to this day, so, yeah, it's very sad.
It does hurt my feelings a little bit whenever people do call me a danger, because I want to make clear, I was a part of the crime, but I didn't commit the act. And I think that is what people need to, really remember. He's the one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify.
It's on the rumor mill that Ken Urker has left Gypsy Rose Blanchard Anderson, and that it's been filmed for the Lifetime TV series that she's been filming for the past 6 months, and is going to film the birth of her daughter and the after of her becoming a mom. It has been largely speculated that this is why she posted this about doing away with all the public social media, because Ken Urker has left her. Now, it was just speculated by a few creators not even 3 days ago that Ken Urker is no longer wearing his promise ring, but Gypsy Rose is wearing what looks like an engagement ring. So people have been speculating that they're already engaged, and they have plans to marry immediately after her divorce is sealed and done. I don't think that Ken Urker has left her yet. I think that he's waiting until after the birth of the baby. And he's also going to wait till the cameras and the monetization are no longer there to then leave her. Because if he does it on camera, he's going to look like well, the douche canoe that he is. But you know, Ken Urker is tired of defending her and her crime and her lies, her actions, her words, and her behaviors. And in all honesty, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Infamy is not the same as fame. Ken Urker only came back into her life when the cameras and the attention and the filming was being done. Interjected himself into her marriage, her life, knocks her up, and then jumps right into her reality show, her social media, and her life. I don't know about the psychology of Ken Urker, but that in and of itself tells me there's something woo-hoo, 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 not right there. Because of all the women that are single, that are great, amazing, talented, beautiful, wonderful human beings inside and out, you go to the one that is a convicted murderer who unalived her mom, who supposedly has all this damage and trauma, and think that's going to be the one for you? Make that make sense. I think the only reason why Ken Urker came into her life to begin with, after having been with somebody for 5.5 years, is because the cameras were there. The cameras were there, the production was there, all of that was being filmed. The fact that she did prison confessions, she did a book, she did a second book, she did Life After Lockup. That right there was what attracted him back. Not Gypsy or her freedom. Because if that was true, he would have never left her in the first place, period, no matter what. To go then hook up with another woman for 5.5 years. He would have done what Ryan did. He would have cared about her. He would have talked to her. He would have taken care of her commissary. He would have all of that during the toughest time of her life, the hardest time of her life, which is during her incarceration. But he didn't do that. He left her. So, and he only comes back around when she is of a social and financial benefit to him. He would look so absolutely terrible if he decided to leave her this close to her giving birth. So it's my opinion that Ken hasn't left her. I think he's going to, but I would just be really surprised if even a douche like him would do so before she gave birth. I know he's probably very, very, very tired of it. And I know a lot of people defend Gypsy. Gypsy is a habitual liar. She's a terrible person. She treats people like shit and she disposes of anybody. She's spoiled. She's entitled. She's self-centered. But that also comes with the fact that Gypsy Rose is, and it has nothing to do with abuse. Gypsy Rose cognitively is not average or normal like other people. She very much, for a middle-aged woman, is like, she seems like a 14-year-old. And Ken is going to get very tired of who Gypsy really is and how she really behaves and acts behind closed doors. Because he's going to feel like he's not only becoming a father, he's going to feel like he's a father towards her too. Like, not that that's an equal, that that's not a partner. That he essentially has to be more than just a companion to her. And that's really sad and really unfortunate, but that's what you get when you seek out people like that. And you decide to jump into their marriage, break it up, and then impregnate her and take over. So even if Ken does leave her, I mean, I would be very surprised if he does it now. But I think he is eventually going to. Because he doesn't look happy. He always looks like he's got hemorrhoids. Or he's taking a shit every time he's with her or on camera. And he always says really fucking snarky, sarcastic mean shit, especially the last time TMZ caught them at the airport. Whoo! I'm sorry, Ken Urker. Nobody knows who the fuck you are, and nobody gives a shit. Before or after Gypsy, you're going to be nothing. You're not even going to be a cliff note or a footnote on Wikipedia. So, if it's fame and attention you want, you're better off going to Hollywood and trying your chances at becoming a dancer, a singer, or an actor. Or model. You can always try that too. You would get more fame and attention doing something like that than being with somebody who is a habitual pathological liar, convicted unaliver, and just all around shitty lying person. So is it true? Do you think he left her? I don't know. Drop your comments because I want to see what other people think. I really, if somebody's going to say that he's left her, I gotta see conclusive proof. Saying it ain't quite enough for me to believe it. And I'm sure all you beautiful, amazing, very intelligent, wonderful human beings who follow and subscribe, you all know that too. So until I see it with my own eyes, even then I'm not going to believe it, because you know what they say, believe none of which thou hear and only half of which thou see. But above all, Ryan Anderson, if you even touch that bitch again, you're done for. You can't recover. You will never be able to recover. And not only that, no relationship's going to survive. So Ryan needs to just keep throwing that ass in a circle away from Gypsy. But in all honesty, I'm not sad for Gypsy, even if that was the case, because she brought it on herself. You know, there's a lot of circumstances in life that people cannot help, that they cannot change. But you always have a choice in how you react and how you let it affect and effect your life, yourself, your emotions, your choices, your actions, your words. And Gypsy has allowed all of this toxic drama, not only in social media, but in her real life, to harm so many people. So this is not just the universe speaking and karma and God punishing her. This literally is the bed of her own making, and she shall thou lay in it. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me below. Ken Urker misplaced Parker, his dog, and I cannot confirm if this is really true or if this is really from any of his official social media pages. But if that is true, and Parker is part husky, they are notorious for running and escaping. But you know what else are? Possums. I wonder if he would post a reward with Gypsy's money if he lost or misplaced Gypsy. I have to cover this because this is my friend's page. There's not only 1, 2, but there's 3 people that actually said no, he absolutely did not leave her. They literally were just seen less than a day ago in Lafayette, Louisiana. I myself have had somebody on my TikTok and somebody on YouTube, and a source of mine through an email said this is absolutely not true. But the easiest thing to do is just ask Gypsy herself. What's the worst that's going to happen? She's going to either lie or she's not going to respond. And of course, I don't expect her to respond to me anyway. Meanwhile, she has to say and think what you want. Me and my baby are going to live a happy life away from you trolls. And that's more than a win for me. Miss Queen of Trolls and bots and paid for followers and subscribers is going to sit here and say a happy life away from you trolls. No, this is creators and influencers and commentary channels doing what they do. They cover news, they cover celebrities, they cover reality stars, they cover true crime or anti-crime or civil litigation, or celebrity civil cases, or world news, or anything else, etc., etc., etc. That's not troll. She lumps everybody as their trolls, their haters, their bullies. So much so that, I don't know if you remember, but when Katie Joy Paulson had leaked the screenshots of her and Gypsy's private correspondence, she said that her biggest bullies were on social media. So much so that she had to go get therapy for it. But if you didn't choose to become a public figure and to sell your life in a contract and negotiating that price, these people doing commentary and covering anti-crime and covering the lies, like myself, wouldn't be here. And to sit here and say it's for money, well, I'm not monetized, so it's not about money for me, and it never has been. So all these people with these overinflated egos, because they're making so much money off of Gypsy, trolls. They're all trolls, right? Yeah, they're all trolls. The fucked up thing is, Gypsy, you can't pretend to be a good person when you're not a good person. You can't pretend, that's the whole thing. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's always going to be a wolf inside. We just know. We just know that you're not a good human being. You're not trustworthy. You're not honest. And that is the thing. You don't hold true to your word. You don't hold true to your promises, your vows. So you certainly don't hold true to your parents or God or anybody else or your husband. What in the fuck makes anybody on this planet think that you would be a good friend, let alone a good parent? When you have displayed in every area of your life, especially to those that should be the most meaning to you and be the most sacred to you, that you feel entitled enough that you can take their life, that you can control them, that you can demand, that you can manipulate and coerce them into where you want them to be, and to being complacent to how you want them to be. It's devastating. But for you to sit there and call other people trolls, miss, you are the motherfucking troll. So I don't agree with people making up fake sources and fake alleged stuff or trying to entice Gypsy back, because she just did announce that she's going to leave social media. And if she leaves social media, fucking good. Everybody can go do something else and do what they were continuing to do or what they were doing before. Fine by me. I'm not going to sit here and make up shit and lie and say things to entice Gypsy into coming back into the social media realm so we can continue this toxic, perpetual cycle. I don't give a fuck either which way. Most people don't give a fuck either which way. But I'm not monetized, so I don't give a fuck. It's always been about the truth. The truth is, there's millions of people who have suffered actual abuse and trauma and very heinous crime. They deserve to have a 6-part docuseries and a reality show and a 2nd-part reality show done about them, their life, their circumstances. The Turpin children, Ruby Frankie's children, those are the type of victims that they should be seeking their stories, because those are the ones that we need to hear to be able to learn from, not ones that are lied about, exaggerated, made up because you are covering for your very heinous crime and trying to make yourself look like a polished turd so you can continue negotiating those contracts by selling yourself, your life, your story. But your time is not worth more than mine or anybody else's. It's all just marketing and advertising. So all of these trolls are only here because you, miss, are the troll queen, and you're the one who has made all of this possible. If you got out of prison on December 28th of 2023 and did not go on social media, and those 4 months that your social medias were already verified and put up waiting for you to get out, if that never happened, this video I'm making right now wouldn't have happened. All the creators that have covered you wouldn't have happened. None of this would have happened. All of the cyberbullying, the harassment, the threats, the police, all the police reports, the FBI reports, all the documentation, all the calling people's jobs, calling their children, calling their school, trying to call their literal apartment manager, trying to dox them, are doxing them, threatening them, harassing them, emailing them, calling them nonstop, sending them threatening voicemails and text messages. None of that stuff would have happened. Creator versus creator, and all of these fights, all of this drama, all the negativity, all of this bullshit would not have happened if you never got on social media to begin with, if you never got out of prison to begin with. You are the common denominator in all of it. And the most disgusting and the most heinous and the most fucked up part of all is you don't even recognize that. So, have the motherfucking day you deserve. No, bitch, have the motherfucking life you deserve. Here are the pictures from Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker's baby shower today. So, all of these rumors and this false speculation about them splitting up has been confirmed to be absolutely categorically false. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is her hair is dyed brown again. Gypsy, if you dye your hair one more time, the motherfucking shit is going to fall out and never come back. But notice how she always goes blonde for Ken, because she knows Ken has an affection for blondes. And she's not blonde right now. But here's some pictures of her baby shower. And you clearly see that Lifetime producers and cameramen are there. But you also see this. I'm not even going to say anything. Oh, look at that. The happy couple right there. So I guess the three sources that came forward and have stated publicly, and the one that I had that emailed me was actually correct when they said they are very much together. In fact, she has plans on trying to handcuff him the minute her divorce is final. But you can go to Rusty's Seasoning for every stuff. Thank you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, for trusting me with your baby shower. You have been a pleasure to work with from day one. I am so happy that... I'm not even going to read the rest of it because Gypsy Rose probably didn't even pay for it. Lifetime probably paid for it. They probably arranged it all. They probably planned it all. I bet you that's amazing, because you know how many people are impoverished and how many people are homeless or housing insecure or are unemployed out of 330 million American citizens. I could think of probably million American women who are pregnant right now who can't even have a baby shower because they can't afford it or their family cannot afford it. And it's just really devastating. It's really devastating, especially with inflation and the cost of food and all of that. It's to me a gross display of I'm entitled. I'm more special. My baby is more special. And I just think Lifetime, this is going to come back so terrible on you. Because for one, not only do we not want to see anything else regarding Gypsy Rose, a convicted unaliver, but the fact that you are paying people a job to record her, to produce this, you couldn't think or find a better human being that is more deserving of this spot, of this show, of this time, of these resources, of this kind of support, of this kind of attention, of this kind of importance. Really? I often ask myself every day, what the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with people? It's very hard to cognitively function when you feel like you are in a world just surrounded by imbeciles and morons. But what I can't comprehend is Lifetime. You think she got out and she blew up, and her social media following is what makes her entitled to all of this. So you're just going to capitalize, monetize, market, and advertise all of this show, because it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It does fucking matter. It does matter. I could have pulled out 100 names from my ass that would have been a better option than Gypsy Rose Blanchard getting all this. Not that she doesn't deserve to have a baby shower, but getting it paid for, having it completely organized and provided to her and for her is no different than what she and her mom used to do all the time. When they got free trips, and they used the news, and they used news publishing, and they used GoFundMes, and they used charities, and they used all of these nonprofits, and they used people in the community, and they used Habitat for Humanity, and they used everything else at their disposal. Lifetime. She's doing the same thing to you that her and her mom used to do. But now she just took it on a larger scale, and she's doing it with having ex-mom out of the picture. Last time I checked, we don't do this with murderers. They might have an episode or a documentary done about the crime, but we don't do this. We don't glorify murderers. We don't give them platforms like this. We don't spend money, support, and resources on them like this. If her family wants to throw her a baby shower, then by all means, go ahead and do that. But I am extremely disappointed in Lifetime. Extremely disappointed. And everybody else should be boycotting them too. Because this, it's done. It's done. It's been almost a year and it's done. We're done with it. We're over it. We want no more. Go on, Gypsy. Live your life. I wish you the best. Go ahead. You've had every opportunity. 365 days later, done. We're done. We are done. Nobody cares about making content about her like that. Especially me. I'm not monetized, so I'm speaking for myself. Nobody gives a shit. Okay? She deserves to have a baby shower, but go ahead, do that. Do that with your family, all of that. Lifetime? No, this is orchestrated. It is orchestrated for the fucking TV show. I'm telling you, mark my words. Mark my fucking words. It is high time that we petition and we start boycotting and canceling Lifetime, because all of that money that they're spending on this, they could actively, positively, and proactively be using this money, this funds, and these people working to actually support real victims and currently abuse victims or traffic victims, or actually trying to bring some kind of awareness. You know, it's just wasted. It is wasted, and it is a terrible, to me, it's worse than a sin. It's worse than a crime, because you are essentially glorifying and condoning and justifying her crime. She has every right and civil and constitutional liberty and right in the United States of America to go live her life, do as she wishes, but that no longer jives with me when she starts using, abusing, discarding, and disposing of other people to suit her needs, to suit what she wants, to suit her false reputation online and through Lifetime, on docuseries and reality shows. So to me, it needs to stop. She can go away and she can live her life. She can have those rights and she can do what she will with it. But it needs to come to a point where Lifetime recognizes that nobody's going to be okay with this, and nobody is going to jive with this, and this is going to be bad for them publicly. Watch. As I showed, they were together in Lafayette, Louisiana, just last night, and they're very clearly together today. But if you notice, she's not blonde anymore. I don't know if that's a telltale sign that there is trouble in paradise. Gypsy Rose Blanchard just posted this update on all of her public social media, and it states, content update. I will no longer be posting personal content on this public platform. Since I was released, I have shared with my supporters my hardships and achievements through the lens of social media. However, I find myself at a crossroads that leads me to desire a more private life, sharing with only family and close friends these special moments. I greatly appreciate all the support and anyone who has ever stood by my side. I will keep posting updates on my new memoir, My Time to Stand, as well as our seasons with Lifetime TV. In addition to this public account, I have made a private TikTok and Instagram at Cajun Heart of Mine, and will only accept requests from those I personally know. This decision was made with consideration to the well-being of my own mental health, that as well as the overall well-being of my family and daughter. We are all doing very well and are in good spirits, excited for our futures moving forward. Then she so beautifully sums it up with a thank you. Okay, hold up. Let's roll that back to March 15th of 2024. These are the reasons that she states for why she left. Authenticity, accountability, public scrutiny, perception of social media, advice from her parole officer. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard wants you to know that she has a private account, and you are not good enough if you are not a close relative or friend of hers, and she does not personally know you, for her to accept it. But she wants you to know of it because she wants you to be able to distinguish her real private one from the fake ones that other people have made in her name and image. That makes no sense. If you're leaving social media, then leave social media. We don't need an update. We don't need a post. We don't need to be told. Just go. Just go. This is not giving deja vu. This is giving, I want to say another name, but I can't quite put my finger on who. But if you look on March 15th of 2024, she did this. But she also did this in April of 2024 and July of 2024. And you can look that up yourself. So this is technically the fourth time we have seen Gypsy Rose in 2024 do this. This is really ironic. When we go back and look at her reasons, Blanchard also said she thanked her fans for their support, but she couldn't give an F about a following. She said that she's now starting to listen to her inner self instead of the noise on social media. You mean you didn't take the advice of your parole officer? You know what they say? There's 3 people that you can never lie to in life. God, your doctor, your mom. Well, there's a secret 4th, and that's your parole officer. This is not the type of thing a 30-plus-year-old grown woman needs to make public, especially 4 times in 1 year. If you're going to leave social media, leave it. If you're going to leave your public platform, leave it. Okay? Nobody would be here making gypsy content, anti-crime content, pro-gypsy content if Gypsy didn't get released. So Gypsy, my message to you is you are the common denominator in all of this. If you were not released and you didn't put all your bullshit in your life and sell it to the highest bidder for money and then turn around and monetize your social media and use it as a promotional marketing and advertisement tool for all of your shows and your documentaries and your books, people wouldn't be covering it. And people would be doing the same exact thing that they had always been doing or that they are doing otherwise. It is absolutely insanity to me that you do not take any accountability at all, that you do not realize you're the problem. You're the common denominator, that you are the one that started all of this toxic social media, this little tiny itty bitty corner of TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. This is your doing because you chose to put your life out there. You chose to sell it for a price. And that price is what you negotiated when you did a contract and got paid to produce a TV show or a documentary. That's the fucked up part. But then you want to turn around and have control. You cannot control 330 million citizens in America, and you cannot control 8 billion citizens worldwide. You cannot control what people think, what they feel, what they say. And they have every right, you as a public figure, even not to think, say, and express their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions in the way that they want to. People don't like you. They're never going to like you.
Could give
it's not because you're a victim. It's because you're a liar. It's because you have been proven to be a liar time and time and time again. And if you lie about something so insignificant as not ever knowing your age and having candles, numbered candles on your birthday cake, when there's 4 different pictures of exactly that throughout your life growing up, how in the hell can anybody trust you to not lie about very important, bigger things? Of course. We know you lie. We know you're not a good person. We know it's a facade. We know you're just selling your infamy and your crime in exchange for self-gain and self-preservation. But that is the thing. You leaving doesn't warrant a public announcement because you're not actually going anywhere. You're announcing that I really do have an actual real account on TikTok and Instagram that I am going to keep private. And you're not good enough to follow me if you're not really a friend or a real supporter. I want to know what you think a real friend truly is. Because people out there making content defending you no matter what and kissing your ass and making it their own job to be your gatekeeper to the point where they're calling people's housing, they're calling people's managers, they're calling people's jobs, they're putting the information on the dark web. People have to go to the police and the FBI, and people had to go to your parole officer, and people actually had to document all of this in case if there's a civil or criminal litigation ever in the future, and people have actually had their kids threatened, had their kids' schools called, like I know because it happened to me. People actually calling, threatening, all of that's direct contact, direct harassment, direct threats. And that's not the same as a content creator coming on here and sharing their thoughts, their emotions, their opinions, and their feelings. But it's your own actions. It's your own actions that have spoke volumes. And no, you are never, even in 30 years from now, when a lot of people are dead and a new generation has grown up, they are not going to forgive you. They're not going to forget, and they're not going to like you. You're somebody who has done nothing but consistently lied, used people, disposed of them to when they no longer suit your purpose, and then turned around and defamed them, victimized them while trying to publicly make yourself look like the victim. That is exactly what Darvo is. That's exactly what gaslighting is. That's what people do. And you are using mainstream media and mainstream networks to help you. Lifetime TV will be boycotted and they will be canceled, and there will be a whole bunch of people that will absolutely tear them to shreds. If they have been filming for the last 6 months of your pregnancy journey, your adultery journey, your divorce journey, your I'm intentionally getting pregnant to trap Ken journey, to look at I'm finally becoming a mom and I'm living my life and this is me starting my family and this is me all the way up to the birth of your baby and after the birth of your baby. Because you know what you're doing? You're not protecting your baby. It's not about your baby. It's not about your family. It's about the highest bidder and who is paying you the most for that footage of the birth of your baby, of your pregnancy journey, of you becoming a mom. And if Lifetime is filming Gypsy Rose life after lockup or finds love after lockup, knowing good damn and well that you cheated on your husband, you used him, you discarded him, you disposed of him, and you intentionally got pregnant by another man because you're obsessed with him, Lifetime's done. Lifetime will be done. I'm telling you that right now, mark my words. But this, if you're going to leave, just leave. If you're going to want to prove yourself, then fucking do it. Prove yourself. You've wasted a whole year doing fucking nothing but making social media and everybody else's life toxic. Look at all of the drama you have created. This is really funny, so I want to share this with everybody. Yesterday I shared these photos from Facebook. Rusty's seasoning for every stuff helped Gypsy Rose do her baby shower. Well, these are the pictures that they posted from Gypsy's baby shower. And that's where I speak about the fact that her hair is brown again. But I want you to pay special attention to that backdrop with the big bow. The weird baby cannibal type cookies people keep talking about, because it has a picture. The cookie is round and it has her ultrasound picture, her baby's ultrasound picture on the cookie. And then people eat it. They eat the cookie. Yeah. But then you clearly see that the Lifetime cameraman, little Ken over there, cameramen are there. Hey. And you see her baby shower. The food for the baby shower. The happy couple that did not split up. No, seriously, I'm kidding. I know I showed, and I can do it again, where people say they can 100% confirm that Ken and Gypsy are still together. This is my friend's TikTok, and this person said that she's seen them, that she ran into them the night before. But even what I was told was that they actually are together. I'm more interested in what society and the public thinks. So if you want, drop your comments below. But this does not mean that they are together. It also doesn't mean that he's under contract, so they're just there putting forward a good face for the cameras. There very much could be trouble in paradise here. But I want to show you this because it is effing hilarious. This is on my video, and this person comments, "What a lame looking baby shower. $12K on Taylor Swift. $12 on your shower." My thoughts exactly. Look at all of her so-called friends living it up there and having fun. It's trash as hell. Smiley face. Bah ha 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 ha. I'm poor as fuck, as are all my friends and family, and had a far better baby shower. This looks like a last minute thrown together, little to no thought put into it, trade show display. And that backdrop looks like a mattress with a body on it. That person literally said it is giving mattress with a body on it. As in mommy dead and dearest type of giving mattress with a body on it. Love Shack Sarah 88, you are hilarious. You are effing hilarious. And I just wanted to share that with everybody because that is exactly what it looked like. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Recap. All right, I love you all. I hope you got a good laugh out of that. See y'all on the flip side.
Okay. Date night again. I just took my graduation pictures and I haven't eaten all day, and it is currently 5:36 and I'm starving, and we both kind of feel like trash because we really haven't eaten anything. So we're gonna play rock, paper, scissors again to figure out where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll win, best 2 out of 3. I'll win, we go to Chimes.
And if I win best 2 out of 3, we go to pool.
Okay.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot? Yeah. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
1.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. 1. Do you need to think strategy?
I got it.
Wait, we're just 1 and 1 right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Bang.
Okay. Alright.
That's 2.
Oh. Okay. I was
like we're
thinking.
going to 4.
Are you sure?
What do you mean for sure? I won twice.
But are you sure that's what you want?
Are you trying to rig the game?
Dude, I'm just asking.
I'm positive.
Fine, 4 it is. I have no complaints, really. I just really wanted boudin egg rolls, and Chimes has boudin egg rolls.
Now, I had somebody in my comments tell me that why is nobody covering where Gypsy Rose had her baby shower? Gypsy Rose Blanchard had her baby shower at Acadian Village at 200 Greenleaf Drive, Lafayette, Louisiana. One of my sources seen her in Lafayette, Louisiana the night before. They said that somebody needs to make a video about this. And there have been a few people that have shown the Acadian Village where her baby shower was held. And that you can rent it out for parties, showers, weddings, other special events. But that it is owned by the LARC. It owns and operates the Acadian Village. All revenue generated from tourism, venue rentals, and fundraising events at LARC's Acadian Village benefit LARC programs. LARC's mission is to support persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities in reaching their goals of self-sufficiency, quality of life, and self-worth. How ironic is that? For more than 50 years, LARC has been dedicated to serving the needs of people in our community with developmental disabilities and their families. Throughout LARC's existence, the organization has continually expanded to fully include the people we serve in the mainstream and workforce of the community. Just go ahead. Reread that. Here's where you can contact them if you want to directly rent it out or speak to them. Not that I am telling you to bomb them with bullshit, lies, or hate. This is where LARC's Acadian Village is located. Notice something here? It is near two of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's favorite places, Hobby Lobby and Walmart. But this is essentially where she had her baby shower. The irony is that Gypsy Rose Blanchard spent almost 3 years manipulating somebody with mental health issues, mental disability, mental illness, into helping her unalive her mom. But that's not the best part. The best part is that Gypsy Rose had been planning to unalive her mom for more than 4.5 years. In the early spring of 2011, she attempted to take her mom's life. She attempted to take her mom's life a second time on June 14th of 2011. Gypsy Rose Blanchard had worked very hard for 2.5 years to manipulate her boyfriend, her internet boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, into helping her in the act of unaliving her mother, so she can ultimately be with him and be free to do whatever she wants. Because just getting up and walking your almost 24-year-old ass right out the door wasn't an option, but having sex in a movie theater was. Nicholas Godejohn is probably going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And his one and only hope right now is clemency letters. If anybody really cares about justice for Nick and really cares about Nick himself and is a friend to him, you would be making videos urging people to please write in letters of clemency. I do not give a fuck what you think about NPGCN. All you need to know is that that's his official spokespeople. Fucking respect his wishes and stop. Doesn't matter what you think and feel. They're correct. We need to urge people to write letters of clemency. You don't have to agree with him getting out in 20 years, 15 years, whatever. Asking for resentencing is a type of clemency, and it should be granted to him based off the fact that he shouldn't have been convicted on first-degree premeditated murder. In my own opinion, second degree was pretty harsh for his helping her in her first-degree premeditated murder, and is completely unjust and unfair. But it is not ironic, and it is not lost on any of us, that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is out here living her best life, having a family, enjoying her freedom, loving her time to stand, and that she's actually having her baby shower at a place that does nothing but take their money and use it for the mentally disabled to be self-sustained and self-sufficient. When the person that has mental health issues and mental disability that she used to help her unalive her mom is sitting in prison and will never be free, will never have the opportunity to have a family and to enjoy freedom and enjoy his time to stand. And in fact, it's really unfortunate because he doesn't even have the supports and the resources that Gypsy does, because her manipulating him has also had other unintentional victims, including Nicholas Godejohn's family. So the fact that she had her baby shower at Lark's Acadian Village, is that her only advocacy that she's done? I mean, if she paid for it, then she can say, I donated money to the mentally disabled to be self-sufficient. But that's laughable. That is absolutely laughable, because she doesn't have to have direct or third-party contact with Nicholas Godejohn to urge her almost 10 million followers to please write letters of clemency. It is absolutely atrocious, the very small number of letters that have been sent in. If anybody cares about Nick, I will see that you yourself have sent in a letter of clemency, because if you haven't, and you haven't asked people to consider it and all the different types of clemency that you can actually ask for, and resentencing is one of them, I call bullshit on anybody who says that they support Nicholas Godejohn and that they care about him, that they care about mental disability, that they care about mental illness, that they care about justice at all. Okay, it has been 100% confirmed that Ken Urker has not broke up with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And the reason we know this, because a couple creators actually got verification directly from both of them that the rumor and the breaking news was not true. Now, I already spoke about this before in one of my videos, but I myself reached out to verify, and of course I didn't expect her to answer back or to reply. However, we had 3 different sources we were trying to corroborate. One of them was at the baby shower. One of them ran into them the night before in Lafayette, Louisiana. And the other said that they can 100% confirm that they are still a couple. They are still together. They are happy, and they are awaiting the birth of their daughter. So I've seen a lot of rumor and a lot of speculation. I've had hundreds of comments. And I started going through them, and I realized a lot of people are saying a lot of different things about sources and speculating about who the source is. So I thought you and I should break this down about sources, because if you don't contact that person directly and verify and corroborate, how do you know that your source is telling you the truth? It's just hearsay, and hearsay is not legal or admissible in any court in the United States of America. So let's think about this. Sources, okay? Any creator that does Gypsy Rose Blanchard content talking about her life. Largely, a lot of the things are published in TMZ or Google or People Magazine or put out in her own social medias herself. So when it comes to knowing breaking news, somebody either has a real source that is actually close to her, and there's not very many people that are close to her. There is her stepmom, her father, her sister. She also has another half-sister and a brother as well, but there's Ken. And then there's the cameraman, the producers of Lifetime. There's not very many people that are in her sphere and in her vicinity, in close proximity to her, that would know very detailed, intimate, private information like that Ken broke up with her. Now, a lot of people think that this is very suspicious because this breaking news came out right at the exact day and time of her baby shower. And it's speculated by people that this was intentional because they wanted Gypsy's phone to be going off with all of this text messages, content, all of it, ruining her baby shower as she's sitting there seeing that everybody's talking about her baby daddy leaving her. That would ruin anybody's night. So that's one option. The source could be real. It could really be in close proximity and really be giving content creators real information. There's a second option as far as sources, and it can be a real source close to Gypsy, but the creators don't know that Gypsy is actually working with the source, and they decide together what information they're going to be feeding to the content creator. There's a third option, that this person has a real source, but this person is not actually close to Gypsy at all, and they are just lying to the creator. They are overinflating their self-importance and their proximity to Gypsy. There's a fourth option, and that is one that I don't really look at, because considering that a lot of content creators who cover her are very good and decent people that are trustworthy and actually care about justice, and they actually care about true crime, and they care about the incarceration and judicial systems. They have given her the benefit of a doubt. I don't like to think about this, but there's a fourth one, and that is that content creators make up the fact that they have a source at all, and that they hate Gypsy so very much that they want Gypsy to think that they have a source that is that close to her, to create insecurity in her, in the fact that she's going to question her close family and her baby daddy on if it could be them that's secretly releasing this information. Somebody could completely make up the fact that there's a source at all, and there's not. And they're creating the fake information themselves and putting it out there at very strategic times just to fuck Gypsy's life up and to hurt her. But that's very unlikely. That is so far from the realm of what probably is really going on here. There's another fifth option, and that is there's a real source, but it's the cameraman or the producers, people that work with Lifetime, because they are there to actually film and witness what is going on. So therefore they have that intimate knowledge because they're filming it and they see it, and they really are giving the information to creators. But Gypsy is not aware that Lifetime is using social media creators to keep her name out there, negative and positive, so they can sell their show. Well, Lifetime has their own channels. They have their own website. They have their own network. They don't really need creators, especially creators with under 1 million, to promote things when they can do that themselves, especially on their own website. They can do it with their own marketing and advertising. They can do it with their own channels on TikTok or YouTube, etc., etc. So when it comes to sources, there's also another option, and that is the sixth option, and that is how you flush a mole, how you catch a rat, how you catch a snitch, and how you weed out a snake or root out a snake. And that is by Gypsy and the source strategically working together to give content creators certain little tidbits of information, but they're giving them, only them, a very specific misinformation to see what they do with it, to see if they try to verify it or corroborate it, and they just go and publish it and put it out there. Because publishing today, it's not like investigative journalism. You have to corroborate your sources. You have to verify, and that can take an immense amount of work and time to do before you publish, either in print or digitally. But today, publishing is as simple as a creator going and saying whatever they want and pushing that post button. So that's always an option too, that they are intentionally giving somebody bad intel so they expose themselves. So the snitch exposes themselves, so they root themselves out as somebody that's not credible and not trustworthy. I find it really hard to believe. I would believe first and foremost some of Gypsy's internet friends and minions and goons who like to bully and cyber harass and commit crimes in real life and fuck with people in real life, that they would be more likely to do something like that before people who are anti-crime or Gypsy content creators would do something so heinous just because they don't like her and they want to fuck up her baby shower. And they don't like her so much, and they have to have this fake credible reason to make this fake shit up to ruin her baby shower, that they completely fabricated a source altogether and don't actually have one. Or they don't actually have a source and they're telling other people that they do, and it's Mia, and they do, and it's Ken, and they do, and it's Christy, and it's really not, because they want people to think that they're really talking to them and to create doubt, insecurity, and suspicion between Gypsy and her family members. So those are the only 6 conclusive things that I could think of as far as who a source could be. One of them being that it's Lifetime workers themselves that's giving that information to somebody. But I've had 3 people come out and say, no, they are absolutely together. They are together. They are not broken up. It was misinformation. It was a lie. It's not true. So I would find it really hard to believe that a lot of content creators who have been around for the last 11 months covering Gypsy, that any of them would hate her so much that they completely fabricated a source and they put this out at the exact time and day of her baby shower just because they wanted to say, ha ha, fuck you, Gypsy. I have the reach and the power and the control to fuck you in your life up if I want to. I have a hard time believing that anybody would be that malicious and that evil and that conniving, that vindictive, and that motherfucking trifling to do some dirty shit like that. But those are the people that always think they're playing some kind of game, you know. Truth always wins. At the end of the day, truth will always prevail. And what is done in darkness shall always come to light. Do you remember a couple days back when Gypsy Rose Blanchard posted this content update saying that she was no longer going to be posting any personal content on a public platform? But then she goes on to tell you that she is going to have a personal, very private platform. And it's only reserved for family and friends who she actually knows and can verify. She is even correcting everybody to let you know which one is real and will remain private. And if she does not know you and you cannot verify who you are, then she's not going to approve you. Gypsy, for weeks, hasn't posted anything that was private information. Even her bump updates on her baby bump were very generic and very PR content approved type of posts. And these here, somebody like Lifetime TV, who has been a major network for decades, has their own website, has a worldwide 8 billion people, 195 nations on planet Earth type of reach. And they also have their own accounts verified on social media platforms that are international, such as YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. They don't need their subjects to be promoting anything because they have way more than 9.9 million on their own website alone that they can reach. But Gypsy has largely used her public platform to promote her projects, her engagements, her campaigns. A lot of it was very generic, not very personal information to begin with. But she has not permanently deleted it. It's still very much up, and I'm going to show you why. Even though it's on clearance right now, Gypsy Rose Blanchard charges $4.99 for a membership. She has 32 subscribers right now, but that's still a significant amount of money that she is still making off of just one membership on just one platform. And you even get 5, 10, whatever stickers. You're supposed to get video shout outs too. I wonder if she actually does this. But when you go to her linked tree, it still says Gypsy Rose Blanchard, public figure, author, social media influencer, and advocate. And that's the part that really started her public following, really starting to see that her word choices and her behaviors were not matching up to her actual actions. And that's where the public started to turn and the tide started to change. It wasn't just a hate campaign. People were very much tired of her saying that she was advocating for children, or she was advocating for abuse survivors. She was advocating for mental disability or mental illness, advocating for prison reform or the justice system. And they just weren't seeing that happen. Because if you want to be an advocate, there's nothing anybody on this planet can say to you that's going to stop you. It's the same thing for anybody. You go to your job and you make money, and there's nobody that, like your neighbor, is going to be able to say to you, hey, you know what? You're a really bad electrician. You probably shouldn't go to your job. And you just decide, you know what? I try to be an electrician, but I'm just not. I know what I'm doing, and I show up to my job and I do my job, but I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. People that advocate are going to advocate despite and regardless what other people say or do. They will continue pushing on and doing what they feel, because advocacy is very unrewarding. It is a very priceless type of job and undertaking, but it is also something that doesn't get you attention. It doesn't get you fame, and it doesn't get you paid. You do it solely out of your soul, your mind, your heart. Being the type of person that wants to bring not just awareness, but you actually want to advocate for change, for positive, proactive change. But Gypsy Rose Blanchard, if you even go to report any of the fake profiles pretending to be her, and you try to say, okay, that this person's impersonating a celebrity, she's not even registered as a celebrity in social media systems for you to be able to even report fake accounts that are pretending to be her. And despite and regardless what people say or think about this whole thing, a lot of people don't think that she would be able to hold it together and be able to pretend at her baby shower that they are a happy couple when they are in fact broken up. It's not about so much that, because you don't know what they are doing to try to fuck with people or lie to people. And people are sitting here and taking Christy Blanchard's word on a live, and you're going to believe her? And you're going to believe Christy Blanchard. Everybody calls her crusty and calls her a liar, but then in the same breath is going to say, see, look at what she said. Let's believe her. As a survivor of abuse myself, and as somebody who has survived stage 3 cervical cancer, as somebody who was born with a rare genetic connective tissue disease and has a very egregious, very chronic pain disease, I'm going to tell you right now, I have never once, ever enlisted or even fucked with people who thought that it was okay to sit here and bash Gypsy's looks, to sit here and make fun of her body, to sit here and make fun of her height, to sit here and make fun of her relationship or her family. I have never once ever condoned or justified or excused, reasoned away, and if or butted any kind of, let's go to her street, let's call her boss, let's call her job, let's mass report, let's call all the companies that gifted her baby stuff and mass report them or mass negative review them or bomb her with negative comments. Let's do all of this nasty shit to her. Let's call her child. Let's call her child's school. Let's dox her. Let's try to cost her and her children a place to live. Let's call her boss. Let's put her information on the dark web and sell it. How about we fuck up her credit, we fuck up her life, we make her homeless, and then we sit there and make fun of her for that? I have never once, ever, because I'm not that type of person to condone that kind of behavior. But you know who is? Her right there. Because when she is friends with people like Bree and Social Justice Brat, and they're doing exactly that to people like me and my 5 children, not having any idea that me and Gypsy have a lot more in common than you think or that you know, because I myself am a survivor. I myself have survived cancer, and ain't no motherfucker on this planet, after what I've lived through, gonna sit here and harass me and try to bully me off of my own platform. I have every motherfucking right to be here the same way anybody else does. And I'm not on here lying, and I'm not on here telling people to go and call and harass and Google search and look up somebody. It is perfectly legal for anybody to talk to anybody else about their life and their past. And it is perfectly legal for any source to come forward and talk to anybody that they want to. And there is nothing you can do about that. It is under my civil and constitutional right, the same way it is yours, to express what you think and feel under free speech. It not only protects that truth, but it also protects press. So it's really ignorant to me that everybody sits here and says that people are bullying Gypsy because they're covering her life. They're covering her drama. That's what happens when you do multiple documentaries, docuseries, reality shows, multiple books. You've done multiple engagements, speeches, campaigns, that you've done multiple interviews. People are going to cover it, and they're going to cover it for only one thing, because she is a convicted criminal. That's it. She's a convicted criminal who made a victim out of other people. And her behavior has been so bad outside of prison, it proves that not only was she not rehabilitated, she wasn't reformed. Everybody can agree on that. But I understand Gypsy has civil and constitutional rights just like everybody else. And she has the right to live her life. She has the right to do that. But she forfeits that right when she decides to sell her story and narrative and sell privacy in exchange for money and a show. So that's the crossroads where people are not understanding that we're allowed to cover her if we want to. So I'm going to continue on from that. The reason why I say she's that type of person is because I have a source that directly knows Bree, Social Justice Brat, Gypsy, and several other people, and they know firsthand, they witnessed that they are the type of people that will look into somebody and their private information and then use that information in criminal ways to try to harm somebody, to shut them down, to shut them up. But you know what's fucked up? Me, of all people, an abuse survivor, a cancer survivor, somebody that's not able-bodied. You're going to sit here and say nasty shit like that to me. So I'm the type of person, I document everything and I turn it over to the police. I have over 5 police reports, and this is not even including the federal stuff. But I'm just going to let you know, saying your opinion in a video and discussing something that is in the public domain, something that is covered under fair use, something that is a public figure, and speaking about what your thoughts are, speaking about the issues surrounding it, the circumstances, that is not the same thing as what Gypsy and her friends do. What they're doing is actively trying to shut down and harm people. And that behavior, I would not put it past them to actively try to put pieces of information that are not true out there to see who is responsible for putting this all out. The fact is, there are creators that have real sources. I know. I showed 3 of mine, including one that was sitting at that baby shower and told me that no, they're 100% a happy couple. I made it very clear to everybody. Believe none of which thou hear, and only half of which thou see, because that is true. Just because you're seeing something doesn't mean that it is what you're seeing. Seeing can be very deceiving. What could be really going on behind the scenes is not what you're seeing at a baby shower that's being filmed for a TV show. So them putting on that front of being a happy couple, that might just be a facade. And if somebody says 100% that they know that they have a source, you need to trust that. They are protecting their source. That is a part of their job, to make sure that person is not outed. And trust me, the creator that broke the news that they had romantically broken up as a couple, that person, I would believe her, especially her having given Gypsy the benefit of a doubt more than one time, and having that type of forgiving heart, before I would ever believe Gypsy or her stepmom or any of her friends. I would believe it's one of her internet friends before I would believe that the person who broke the news is maliciously doing that. But that's why everybody's just sitting back and seeing what happens, because we all know they're going to break up anyway, whether it was 2 days ago or if it's going to be 2 months from now. Same thing. But what I'm speaking of is all of the circumstances surrounding Gypsy. If Gypsy did not get released on December 28th of 2023 and did not come on any social media at all, public or private, did not do a book and a show and all of that, if it ended with the prison confessions, and the prison confessions were 1 hour long episodes, 6 episodes, there would be no reason that any of this toxic fighting between creators and arguing over creators and people that are Gypsy or anti-crime content creators are arguing over, I'm right, I'm wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, blah, 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 you said this, she said that, whatever. None of that toxicity would happen. It's the divide and conquer strategy and technique. But the whole thing is, I'm not even the type of person at all that has ever condoned or justified anybody actively hurting Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I don't sit over here and make fun of the way she looks. I don't sit over here and make fun of her body or her height or make fun of her fucked up choices that led to fucked up things and sit here and crack jokes and all of that. Not publicly. And I don't sit here and shame her. And I don't sit here and tell people that it's okay to try to ruin her real life to then turn around and bully her in real life, especially while she is pregnant with a baby. That's really fucked up coming from a mother. I don't condone what she did, but I also don't condone the way that she has treated and disposed of people even up to today. So with that said, it's a two-way street here, but people can't be hypocrites. They can't sit here and say that so-and-so is lying and then say that Gypsy and everybody in her family is a liar and they can't be believed, but then turn around and say, but they say there's a snake in their camp. There's a snake in their camp. You're going to believe Christy? It doesn't make any fucking sense either which way. All I'm saying is if nobody made any video or content about Gypsy at all, there wouldn't be none of this, including Bree and all of Gypsy's friends and all of the supporters themselves. because I largely have been an anti-abuse advocate, but it also really pisses me off when somebody pretends they have cancer and they don't, because I survived cancer. So that's very personal to me. And it's the same thing with somebody who lies about being abused or exaggerates their abuse, because I am an abuse survivor. So my story, I don't go out here telling everybody my story, because first of all, it's none of your fucking business. And secondly, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in other people's stories, and I'm interested in the truth. I have done nothing but given Gypsy the benefit of doubt the same way everybody else is. I wanted Gypsy to come out and prove me wrong. I wanted her to be better. I wanted her to thrive and have a good life and have her freedom and be able to make choices. But you don't get to hear her say that I was abused for so many years. So was I. So was 90% of the American population. All come from an abusive or neglectful household, or 1 out of 4 women are SA'd before the age of 19. So that's no excuse to say, oh, well, that's why somebody acts impulsive and that's why they act in such a horrible way. No, all the more reason why you become a good person and you treat people with dignity and love and care and respect, because you don't want other people to go through what you have suffered in your life. You do not want to see other people fail and do bad, and you don't want other people to hurt. You don't want other people to have to feel as low as you have once felt, or to suffer what you have once suffered, or to be isolated the way you were once isolated. And it's just really unfair, because it's okay for her people to turn around and to do that to me, or to do that to other creators, large or small. I'm not monetized, and it's not about money, and I don't give a shit about money. I wanted nothing more than to be proven wrong and to root for her. I wanted her to come out of prison and to be the picture of rehabilitation. I wanted her to be the picture of reformation. I wanted her to be the picture of your circumstances can be better. Not all of us abuse survivors get to turn around and get paid thousands of dollars so we can buy a house, so we can be self-sustaining, so we can do other things. And we don't get to get away like that. We don't have the supports and resources, and Nicholas Godejohn doesn't either. For people who do care about the criminal justice system and the mass incarceration problem of the United States of America. So with that being said, it's just really fucked up to me that people in her camp and closest friends of hers from social media, they get to get away with that kind of behavior and sitting here and defaming people and calling them liars and calling them clowns and calling them all of these horrible names, when that in fact is what they are doing. They are looking up people's information and then turn around and using that information, and they are using Google and Google Maps, and they are actually calling where people live their lease manager. They're calling their boss. They're showing up. And I'm not okay with people showing up to Gypsy Street, but that's where Gypsy and her team, because she has something we don't, an entire team of people there to support and protect her. Every abuse survivor, an able-bodied person or cancer survivor, we don't have that. I've had stalkers follow me and show up to my house, and I didn't get that. We do what we have to. We document it, we go to law enforcement, and we keep that documentation, because you know what they say, if you don't document it legally with the police, then it never happened, because it's admissible in the court of law. Yes, it is. And so is that police officer who took your report and took the proof and the information. That's all admissible and subpoena able too. So when you really stop and think about it, people are sitting here being hypocritical, saying not to do that to Gypsy, but people like me are just covering just her news, just the topic. And that's fine. I don't care. I want Gypsy to go away. I want her to permanently delete her socials, and I want Lifetime to cancel her show so all of this toxicity on social media can stop, because she is the common denominator and the sole reason for all of it. Mark my words. It will end. Bree caused me to have a very, 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 very bad opinion of Gypsy. I'm also a cancer survivor, so hugs to you. I am so fucking happy and thrilled for you. Congratulations. Not many people know what it's like to be on this side of a cancer diagnosis, but I do. I just hit my 5-year remission of stage 2/stage 3 cervical cancer. I had 6 operations between 2018 and 2019. And on October 11th of 2019, I had a 12-hour operation, cut open from hip to hip. I had a radical hysterectomy, total pelvic lymphadenectomy. I had part of my vagina removed. And then I had to go through 6 weeks of injections in the thigh 3 times a day. I had a catheter for 8 weeks. And then for 2 years post that surgery, I had to go through additional medications and cancer treatments. I'm fucking very, very lucky and blessed to be here. I'm sure you feel that way, because not everybody that has cancer survives it. And the prognosis rate is not very good for a lot of cancers. So I noticed that I struggle a lot physically, mentally, and emotionally, not just having all those organs taken away from me, but all of the pelvic lymph nodes being gone. The things, I've also had to have several bladder surgeries since then. I've had to have a transvaginal mid-urethral pelvic mesh sling done 3 years ago on Christmas. And I have had to have Botox injections into my bladder, and I probably, we're going to do it already, but I've been putting it off, a nerve stimulator in my spine. And so a lot of people don't talk about the residual effects of cancer, mentally, emotionally, physically, because a lot of people unfortunately don't survive it. So that's something that is just, I know I struggle a lot with even verbalizing it. It's only been in the last few months that I've been able to actually talk about it and open up about it more without being extremely angry and going through the grief process of even being diagnosed. And I just hit the 5-year remission mark. So I'm just speaking for myself though. It makes my heart, my mind, my soul, and the very core of who I am so extremely happy and thrilled to see somebody else survive cancer. So congratulations again, because that's fucking awesome. And that is something that should be celebrated. I feel like I don't celebrate myself enough like I should. And it's a constant reminder that life is precious. Our time is limited. I just turned 39, and I'm extremely blessed by God to be here, to see my 5 children grow up, and to still be an active part in my own life. It just doesn't look the way that I thought when I was younger that it was going to look. But I'm fucking badass, and it ain't taking me out. So I plan to live to be a very, very old, grumpy great-great-grandmother. And God willing, I will make it. I just find life so beautiful, and it's funny to me because especially with social media and the digital age, people are so like anti-uniqueness and individually. I mean, I see my friends and people I talk to, and I see people on this app too, and I think, why in the hell do people go and have all this crazy extreme stuff done to their body just to look like some weird plastic silicone doll? I absolutely find aging beautiful. I find flaws beautiful. I find that uniqueness beautiful. That is what makes us so different, but that to me is what makes us attractive. I find people, even men, women, to just, when they embrace who they really are, that to be so refreshing, because I embrace who I am, and I always have. I'm very in tune with myself and my body, and I just love to see other people do that same thing. But I find that to be the most beautiful of all, and this, just having survived something so egregious, I know firsthand, it just does something to me. It just makes me extremely thrilled. So congratulations again on surviving your cancer and being here today. But I really want to talk to you about this, the first part. What was it that Bree did that caused you to not have a good opinion of Gypsy anymore? I'm genuinely curious. And for anybody else that is watching this video, I really want to know from you firsthand, would you ever forgive Gypsy Rose? Do you think she can ever come back from all the lies and inconsistencies she's told in her shows in her interviews, in her interrogation on social media, do you think that she, even if she tried and showed remorse and tried to change and tried to do better with her time here and her life, not just with her words, trying to make you convinced that she is, but if she actually showed us, everybody, that, and that she was starting to give back and she was doing good things with her large platform, and that negative attention and infamy that she has because solely of the crime that she committed and being a convicted felon, I just want to know, hypothetically, would you ever forgive her? Would you ever give her a place in social media and accept her? And if you could or ever would, what would that look like for you? Because I'm genuinely curious. They blame everybody else for why she doesn't advocate or bring awareness, and they say it's because y'all don't fucking let her. No, if Gypsy Rose was not on social media, she wouldn't know how many people negatively think of her or dislike her. She wouldn't be on there to read it, to see it, to know it. And she would just be living her daily life. So that's not an excuse. Plus, anybody who advocates, they're going to advocate no matter fucking what anyway. The same way, if somebody wants to lie, they're going to lie anyway. If somebody wants to go have sex with somebody, they're going to go have sex with somebody. There ain't going to be no stopping them. If you truly have the heart for advocacy, you're going to do it. Regardless, despite and regardless what anybody on some stupid little box has to say. Right? But I just genuinely wanted to ask that question. I really want people to answer me. I want you to drop your comments below, and I want you to open up this dialogue and this conversation, because I myself has sat here and thought about the possibilities of what would her team or should her team have done to not only revamp her image, but actually build her a reputation from the ground up. What could she do? Could she do anything that would make people forgive her or like her or support her and change their view on her? And what would that look like for you for that to happen? Is it just her showing remorse? Is it her admitting the lies and inconsistencies? Is it her apologizing for it? And or is it all of that in combination with her behavior needs to change, and we need to see some kind of action that proves there's some change there? I think I have some thoughts on that as far as my personal opinion, but I want to know everybody else's, because I genuinely don't dislike Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and she is a woman who is carrying an innocent child. No matter what anybody thinks about her, as far as I know, nothing has been done to actively harm her or hurt her. There might have been a lot of negative words and really bad things surrounding her name, her case on the social sphere, but she's free to go to a dog park, she's free to go to restaurants, she's free to go to Universal, she's free to do all these things, so her life can't be threatened that horribly. But please, just answer this for me, and don't come after me with some fucking bullshit, okay? It's just a hypothetical question. What could Gypsy Rose Blanchard do to actually show people that she wants to change and that she's going to change and that she has any kind of remorse? And what would that look like for you to come to a place of forgiveness and to actually think that she wants to? I'm not saying is, I'm just saying hypothetically. Now, I've seen this one, but I haven't talked about it yet. So November 2nd of 2024, Gypsy Rose Blanchard posted this. Eventually, the cameras and the fans and the haters alike will disappear, and when everyone has had their bite of the pie, what is left is a woman with trust issues, low self-esteem, and emotional baggage that the prying eyes of the public will never see. I leave my most vulnerable self to the ones I cannot hide from, the ones who see my struggle when I wipe my tears, pat my makeup under my eyes, and put on a smile as fake as the smiles reflected back at me. You are so inspiring, and we want the best for you, I'm told by journalists and producers. Their voices clash with the agenda. The mask is on. Smile. My message to you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, is if you know that all these people have an agenda, and that they're just all out there clamoring for a piece of their check, their portion of the check. You have the ultimate power and control to drive and steer your own life, to say no, to put boundaries for anybody. Whether anybody likes you or not, you are the one that have the say. You are a more than full-grown woman and have that ability to do that. And if you can't, the people that love and support you and surround you, they should be helping you, and they should be encouraging you to do exactly that. The only thing I can say in comparison is look at celebrity cases. Look at people like Britney Spears, who suffer from dual diagnosis of mental disability and mental illness, okay? Since she was very small and was with the Disney Club, before a lot of her mental disability and mental illness really started to present itself in early adulthood. They had already forged this image of pop princess, this path for her. And they wanted her to toe the line and follow it. And as long as she did that, she got the fame, the attention, the money. But most importantly, she got to perform, which is what she liked to do. A lot of people think there's absolutely no way. Yes, mentally disabled and mentally ill people can very much lip sync, sing, learn to do dance rehearsals and dance recitals. But the image that they projected for her is what the public today still think of her, decades later. That's why it's so hard for so many people, even her own fans and supporters of hers, to reconcile the fact that that woman and person that Britney Spears truly is cannot live up to her own image that was put out there for her. So it's really hard for people to understand simultaneously that she is mentally got her own issues and baggage, and she's got her own behavioral issues, and that doesn't align with the image they have always projected for her. Don't allow other people to use you in that way. Because the trade-off is, here, we're going to give you a check for lots of money, but we get a portion of our cut too, and our checks. They're benefiting off of you. It's the same way managers and assistants and lawyers and agents all do for celebrities. They're all taking a piece of that. Those people are the wolves around you. They're nothing compared to what you say content creators are doing to you. And I think you are very much aware of that because you say it right here. Their voices clash with the agenda, which means you know inside that all of this facade and this fake story agenda, that you're having a hard time reconciling who you are behind closed doors when the lights are off and you're by yourself, or you're with the people that have to be with you and have to deal with all of this, that you cannot live up to that image, that you do not, there's something broken here. And you know, I really wish that it wasn't all about money for people, but it is. It's all about money for you too. You say it here. Because there's no other reason why you would just allow all these people to do this to you and to just use you in this way. You don't have to go along with Melissa Moore. You don't have to go along with a literary agent. You don't have to go along with your attorney or your manager. You don't have to go along with what your family and people say they want for you, okay? And this is another thing that really bothers me, for real, Gypsy, I'm going to tell you right now. The whole mental health thing, okay? Every person on this planet has had abuse, neglect, SA, or some kind of trauma, PTSD, something. Everybody has something. And everybody has to live with that something. It never goes away. It's ingrained in you. It's a part of who you are. Now, see, this whole fake image that they're trying to project for you, they're trying to sell you as this person who deserved this lesser sentence for what you did. No abuse on the planet is going to condone what you did, period. But I have pulled a lot of people in the ass, and believe it or not, a lot of society would be forgiving to your debt to society if you were to tell the truth fully, if you were to come out and admit a lot of the lies and inconsistencies and take full accountability and responsibility and really truly try to turn your life around and make better choices and take control and really do something good with your life. It's just the fact that people are really seeing actions are not aligning with the agenda. And so that's a facade that's already crumbled. It's broken, and it's just like a vase. Once you break it and you try to super glue it, it's going to look like it once did. It never is going to look like that. It's never going to be what it once was. And it's the same with this, because once everybody has seen all those cracks, you can't unsee it. Once you've seen that brokenness, you can't unsee it. Everybody has self-esteem issues, body issues, trust issues, emotional baggage, mental baggage, psychological baggage, whatever you want to call it or name it or phrase it. But the whole mental health awareness, and we're so modern, and we should be, really accepting of people. That really bothers me, because mental disability cannot be treated. Mental illness cannot be cured, and trauma cannot be healed from. And that is from me directly. I'm so tired of people trying to put it out there like that it's even a possibility to heal from your trauma and overcome it. You're never gonna heal from your trauma if you really have trauma. And anybody that has trauma knows that. That's just how it is. You learn to cope with it. You learn to tailor your choices, words, actions, behaviors around it. You learn to take it and turn it into a strength and use it to help other people, therefore help yourself internally. But you don't actually heal from it. It's just there. It's a part of you, and it always will be. And anybody that hasn't knows that. If you really feel this way, I'm not the type of bitch that's going to sit here and say, ha ha, it's funny because karma is going to do that to you and you deserve it and we're all fucking here for it. I'm just going to say that you still have the opportunity and the ability right now, but that clock is ticking very short, because there's a lot of people that are full stop, nope, done. I am never going to forgive or accept Gypsy Rose, the victim narrative, all of this stuff until she actually tells the full-blown truth, takes accountability and does something great with her life and tries to give back and tries to redeem herself, tries to advocate for the other person, tries to show us that she's worth it, that she's rehabilitated and reformed, which prison did not do for you. Prison doesn't do that for hardly anybody. That's the whole problem that's broken in the prison system, is that they don't focus on rehabilitation and reformation quite as much as they should be. But that's just my message to you, that if you truly feel this way, you have the power and you have the ability to say no and to not take part in the show and to not be on social media. If that's what actively hurts and harms you the most, you can say, well, I should be allowed to be just like everybody else. But that's the whole thing, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. You're not like everybody else. You say that you have this really rare, egregious form of abuse that hardly anybody else on the planet has ever suffered, and you also committed a crime that other people largely do not commit, and so that sets you apart.
I am so heartbroken right now. Being friends with Gypsy Rose Blanchard has helped me to see the world in a way that I never would have otherwise. The empathy I have for people that are celebrities or in the public eye has grown tremendously. To the person who took this post off of our private Facebook and passed it around, fuck you. Sincerely. And I hope Gypsy finally figures out who this person is and gets them off of our page. None of you have talked to Gypsy personally, privately, about life. None of you have sat there and heard her just express how much she just wants a normal life. None of you know the pain that she still goes through. None of you know the healing that's still taking place in Gypsy's life. None of you have gotten a text message from Gypsy at 3 o'clock in the morning saying she just had a nightmare. None of you know Gypsy the way that people who actually love her know her. None of you know a damn thing other than what you hear on social media, which we should all know by now is not always the truest form of information. None of you have sat next to Gypsy while she expressed how badly she just wants to just leave this all behind. Because I've had those conversations with Gypsy quite a few times. But let's look at this post that you decided would be okay for you to share with the world.
Posted this. Eventually, the cameras and the fans and the haters alike will disappear, and when everyone has had their bite of the pie, what is left is a woman with trust.
First of all, coming from somebody who took somebody's legally private correspondence, this could have only came from Gypsy. Secondly, if you want to know where I got it from, it was emailed directly to me. But also, I don't have to remind people that other people covered this a whole day before I even talked about it. So you're barking up the wrong tree, and unfortunately it's sad for you that you feel that way, coming from somebody who helped somebody call the cops on me, harass me, dox me, send me threats, bombard my YouTube channel with a whole bunch of comments and a bunch of BS. You know, I still don't feel that anybody, even Bree herself, does not have, I mean, she shouldn't feel that way. And yeah, when somebody put out the misinformation that Ken broke up with Gypsy, as much as people, you know, don't like her, I still don't agree with that kind of behavior and that kind of treatment. And I would be very happy for her to get off social media. The last almost year has just made social media so extremely toxic. It blows my mind. It really blows my mind. It does. I reached out to her, and I didn't expect her to answer me back. So, yeah, some people can't learn to know her because they can't trust her to not do this. Share their legally private correspondence with her so people don't get a chance to get to know her and talk to her. Because when somebody put that out there that he broke up with her, and somebody that was at the baby shower told me that that's not true, they're very much together and they're a happy couple, I made videos about that, and I made it very clear that that doesn't mean that's what's going on or that anybody's incorrect. But I reached out to Gypsy and asked her straight up, is this true or not? I didn't expect her to answer me, and I also say that. But if you want to know where it came from, there you go. Cheers. Go ahead and pause and read this. I've said my opinion on this many, many times. Doesn't matter who NPGCN is. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter or mean anything. You can advocate and do things to support Nicholas Godejohn without having to focus on who's running his social media pages and who is his official spokesperson. He's confirmed this many times with many people since January 13th of 2024. But you can't sit here and say, they're real, they're not real. Well, clearly it is somebody real. But does it matter? You don't have to fixate on this to support him and do the right thing. Cheers to friends. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and share.